Welcome into the stream. Let's talk some Texans here. A little late night Texans talk for you. I'm Cody Stoots. Tonight we're discussing CJ Stroud's struggles in the first padded practice of Texans training camp. Will Anderson's absolute dominance. Woo! I got to fan myself every time we talk about Will Anderson. The defense has been dominating. What to make of that? A couple of padded practice standouts and so more. We're getting to it. Plus, we'll have an update on that raffle giving away to Texans draft hats as well. So much to get to. Let's not waste any time and get into it. And of course, I will remind you, we love a subscription on this video. We love a like on this video. And we love for you to subscribe to Houston Football, www.houstonfootball.com. Excuse me, www.houfootball.com, www.houfootball.com. Just click the link down below. It's easier than me saying it every time. CJ Stroud had his worst day at Texans training camp to this point. It was not a good day from the rookie quarterback. Okay? It was the first day Davis Mills looked better than him. It's the first time Davis Mills has won the head-to-head competition within a day of training camp. I've been doing the combat sports scoring, 10-9 or 9-9 a couple of days. Well, today was a 10-9 Davis Mills day. So Stroud's won 2 days. They've tied 2 days. And then Davis Mills has won a day. And Stroud's day started off with a tough one just to begin. Now, I think it's important to understand how they build practice and how they go about things. So they started out with a bunch of drills. They started out with some red zone drills and things of that nature. And both QBs looked pretty good. In fact, I thought the wide receivers and the quarterbacks had a absolute fantastic red zone drill session where they're hitting guys over the middle. They're throwing stuff into the corner of the end zone. I thought they had a really good drill session from that standpoint. Then they get into teams, okay? Then they get into teams, and CJ Stroud goes out there for the first rep in teams, takes the snap, drops back. He looks over to his right, and he's like, oh, I got a guy there. Goes to float the ball over the linebacker. Next thing you know, Blake Cashman's coming down with that sucker, a second interception in 2 days. Cashman, it was one of the easier plays he's probably ever had to make in his football career for an interception. Again, second interception in 2 days for Blake Cashman. We'll talk about him a little bit later. But Stroud did the, kind of the old, oh no, like what have I done? Great learning opportunity. Great opportunity to learn from the mistake. And it's practice, so he's right back in there. Okay? When you throw an interception in the game, you got to wait. Defense has got to play defense. And you got the kickoff and so on and so forth. But he's right back in there. So next play, they run the ball. I think they ran the ball left. And so they're setting up for the next play. And Stroud's going to the line of scrimmage, and he's calling some stuff out. And they've got the officials there. And the official in the back, he comes running in. He's waving that sucker off. Boom. Delay a game. It was a rough start for CJ Stroud, man. It was a rough start for CJ Stroud. Now, he bounced back a little bit later on. He found Nico Collins over the middle. He had a couple of nice plays throughout the middle of practice. And then towards the back end of practice, it didn't go so well. Let's see it. The Houston Texans Twitter account put it out there. And it's a highlight for one of the players. It's a low light for another one. So this is Derek Stingley's interception in practice, and CJ Stroud threw this ball. I'll play it through, and then we'll watch it again here. Boom. That's the interception. Sting takes it back. That's a pick six for Derek Stingley. Okay. Oh, see you later. All right, let's watch it one more time. 24's got it. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, he's in the end zone. I never know why these videos don't play as smooth as I want to, but look how wobbly that ball was. Ugh, CJ, what are we doing? You got to be a little crisper than that getting to the sideline. Look at that wobble. Okay, so that was a bad day, bad throw from CJ Stroud. You're going to have those days. And in fact, I was waiting for one of these days from CJ Stroud. It's a really important day for CJ Stroud because I asked D'Amico Ryans about this after practice. I said, hey, when a player makes a mistake, what's the conversation like? What do you say to him? Do you fix it right there? Does the player know he's made the mistake? Like, what does it go about? What goes into that? And D'Amico Ryans explained, he said, look, most of our guys know exactly what they did wrong when they make a big mistake. And we have to go in with film. They figure it out before we even get to film, but then we show them again on film how they messed up so they don't make that mistake again. And that's the biggest thing for CJ Stroud as a rookie quarterback. That matters today. It matters tomorrow when they practice. It matters next week when they play a preseason game. It matters next month, which I can say that because it's still July. It matters next month when they're doing joint practices. He can't make the same mistake over and over again. Make a bunch of mistakes right now. It's training camp. These practices don't matter in the grand scheme of winning and losing a football game on Sunday. When I say they don't matter, in that the stats don't count, the scores don't count, the interceptions don't count, the sacks don't count, none of that counts. Make the mistakes now and figure out how to fix them. Figure out, when I see a guy over there on the right side, I need to put a little bit more mustard so that the linebacker doesn't jump up and grab it. If I see something on an outbreaking route and I'm not going to be able to laser that sucker in there, then I don't need to make that throw because guys like Derek Stingley are going to grab it and take it back for a score. Like, make these mistakes now and learn from them. So what has Monday given us, this Monday workout, this padded practice for Tuesday? It's given us an incredible opportunity to learn about CJ Stroud. You can learn so much about rookie quarterbacks and quarterbacks in general, and really, you can learn about a lot of different things all at once if you just see how somebody handles a bad day at the office. This is CJ Stroud. This is any other players on the team. This is real life. How does somebody handle a bad day at the office? Does one bad day turn into 2 bad days? Does a bad day on Monday turn into a bad week? Like, that doesn't happen on the football field, but it happens where people work, in the office setting, or you got a job, or somebody has a bad Monday. Next thing you know, there's still a grumpy goose on Thursday. Like, how does CJ Stroud bounce back? How does he respond from a disappointing Monday? That's going to be a big element of his entire rookie season. And it's a little bit of how I'll judge Bobby Slowick. It's a little bit of how I'll judge Gerard Johnson, the two most important offensive minds in the building, the offense coordinator and the quarterback coach. So how do those guys get CJ Stroud ready to bounce back? Because practice ends at 11. You're back out there at 9 o'clock. You got 22 hours. And I know you're not spending all 22 hours getting ready for the next practice. So what kind of work goes into that? As D'Amico Ryans said in the post-practice press conference, hey, most of these guys know they made a mistake by the time we get to the film, but then we show it to them on film and we correct it to make sure it doesn't happen again. A bad day like this happens again tomorrow, happens again on Tuesday. Okay, maybe you start paying a little bit closer attention to the fact that it's a competition, but how CJ Stroud bounces back, that's the big thing I'm going to pay attention to from the Tuesday workout. Let's get to some of your comments. Your comments are always welcome here in the comment section. If you're got a question, I'll star it and we'll get to it a little bit later unless it is inherently on the topic that we are getting to. Appreciate Jose running through here. J-Rock, Prophet, Yellow, good to see you. Samuel, how'd you think Stingley played today? We saw the highlight. It looked really good. J-Rock got to go out to practice. Super fun. I met Juice and Jarrett Patterson. The food trucks were taxing, though. Yeah, you might want to prep for having a couple of meals in place before you get out there. Siraj, appreciate you coming through. 11 Bravo, appreciate you coming through. Smash Paw, great to catch you live. Great to have you live here. Cody, I'm not sure how many training camps there are in total. You should do like a quarter recap of training camp if you haven't already thought to do so. It'd be super cool to see how things change. Oh, baby, I got you. We do the recaps and the breakdowns all the time. We get 11 observations from every workout, okay? 11 observations from every workout. They're going to finish their 6th workout tomorrow on Tuesday, and then Wednesday they got an off day. We'll get some camp crushes, okay? Who's somebody that I'm falling in love with on this 90-man roster here okay, over the course of a couple of workouts. So camp crushes will be coming your way this week on the website. We'll talk about them here on the YouTube page as well. We'll get a 53-man roster projection sort of in the middle, maybe between the Patriots and Dolphins preseason game. There's a lot of fun stuff planned at Houston football. www.houfootball.com for a lot of the writing. And, of course, right here where you can subscribe down below so you don't miss anything on the YouTube page. El Mario, he's not worried about the CJ INTs. Throw all the INTs you want in practice. Throw all of them in practice, okay? Learn from him. How does he bounce back? Tuesday is what's going to matter after a Monday struggle. Sean G. CJ struggling during camp doesn't concern me. He's learning the NFL speed, new offense. He's going to struggle. He's going to have wins. The goal of camp is to learn from the struggle. Boom. The goal of any mistake in life is to learn from it. I mean, not every lesson is apparent from the mistakes, but the goal of any mistake, from throwing an interception to, charging the wrong amount to a customer at work, it's just to learn from the mistakes. 0-0 tucks given. What's good, Cody? Was Stingley INT a tip pass? No, I didn't see it get tipped. It was looked like me out there throwing, which, by the way, the Texans are doing a media flag football game this weekend. I can already hear the media ACLs and knees and ankles and stuff popping. I'm going to try my hand at it. There will be some lowlights. I'm not even going to call them highlights. There will be some lowlights as well. I hear Petrie's been a talk among the defensive staff. We'll talk about Petrie in the defense dominates category. Is Nico on the trade block? No. Nico's the starting outside wide receiver as far as I see it right now. Matthew Green, Cody Stoots, live. What a treat out here in San Antonio. You're killing it, man. Matthew, appreciate you tuning in from San Antonio. There's still a lot to get to here on the live tonight. We talked about Stroud's struggles and Davis Mills getting the win, so to speak, today. And Mills now with 1 win under his belt, Stroud with 2 wins and 2 draws in the 5 workouts that the Texans quarterbacks have had so far. Let's see one of those reasons why Davis Mills won today. It's a big pass, a big hit to the rookie wide receiver from Iowa State, Xavier Hutchinson. Let's see the big play here. Got this going on the StreamYard. Got it big for everybody. Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's the big play. Davis Mills, boom, off his base and just airs it out. Tinge, boom. He didn't even have his feet set. Just throws it out there. Hutchinson's behind everybody. I guess it would have been a touchdown, right? That guy could have tackled him, but I don't know. Yeah, he probably gets tackled there. They just touched there, but could have been a touchdown. But this is not going to be a big, long conversation about this. Hutchinson, 2 really nice plays in 2 days. This is going to lead us into our next topic, okay? Because watch this clip. What do you notice? Oh, who's that? Who's that right there standing next to the quarterback? Who's that right there, inches away from the quarterback, pulling up because he would have murdered the quarterback if this was a live rep? Is that Will Anderson? Is that Will Anderson? Would he have murdered Davis Mills if this was a live rep? Would we have been getting the backup quarterback in if Davis Mills was playing? Yeah, look at that. 51 right there. 51 right there. Woo. Woo. Let me tell you what. Will Anderson. Woo. Every time I talk about Will Anderson, I got to fan myself. It's been better than advertised. It's been better than advertised with Will Anderson. It's incredible to watch. If you use a tight end to block him, he's beating the tight end. He's mauled a lot of tackles in practice so far. He has beat up Titus Howard a few times. He has just crushed anybody that's not Laramie Tunsil. And if you put a tight end on him, I mentioned that you're going to have a tough time. There was a play where the rushing play went away from Will Anderson, and he chased it down. And I used that cheetah chasing the gazelle thing the other day. He did it again. And I am just, I did not expect this, okay? I did not expect Will Anderson to look this good, this fast. And I know it was 4 non-padded practices and it's 1 padded practice. But it's all there. It's toolsy. He's quick. He's fast. He's violent with getting blocks away from him. It is as good and even better than advertised when it comes to Will Anderson to this point. And I am just over the moon that this guy's paying off to this level already, because if he is as good as it looks like he can be, it's going to create such a higher floor for this defense and a higher floor for this entire organization if he is as good as it looks like he is going to be. You see the reasons why DeMeco Ryans and Nick Caserio, who to get a compliment about a player, it's like pulling teeth out of those guys. You see the reason why the praise is so effusive and why they spend so much time talking about how good Will Anderson is. DeMeco Ryans said today, everybody needs to watch Will. This is how we need to practice. This is a rookie. Everybody needs to watch Will. This is how we need to practice. Christian Harris said, yeah, basically Will Anderson does everything on this field that he did at Alabama. He's dominant. It's like, okay, all right. And I was talking to some media folks today, and there's a hot rumor making their way around SEC country that Nick Saban thinks Will Anderson might have been the best defensive player he ever coached. Now, again, rumor, and you know how the rumors and innuendo can get out of control, especially in the SEC. But if there's even a chance that Will Anderson's the best defensive player that Nick Saban's ever coached, I mean, come on. What an absolute monster this guy could be if he can translate what he's done in 5 days of workouts into a game. It's going to be an incredible watch. 51 is going to be must-see television when he's on there. DeMeco Ryans is joking this week that Anderson's losing his mind when the coaches take him out because he wants some more reps. I mean, I'm really excited. And here's what else about Will Anderson was real fun to hear. He was talking about how he goes home at night and then he watches the film. So they get done with practice, they go watch the film, and then he goes home and then he watches the film again at night just to kind of go through and diagnose small things in his game. And he said that the coaches have worked with him on how exactly they want him to watch film so that he can go through. And then he talked about, I kind of watch what they did in San Francisco and how they approach things in San Francisco. And it's all really direct. It's all really get after the quarterback. It's the type of defense that I want to play in. And the way I'm getting used here is the way that I want to be used. And it's the best use of my abilities. And I'm just sitting there. And I was, the fan's not big enough. I'm not fanning hard enough. Will Anderson, man, as advertised and even better from Will Anderson. It's been fantastic. All right, raffle update for you. Raffle update. I told you I got 2 Texans draft hats to give away to y'all. And we started the raffle. We had it open last week. And the way you enter is you can drop your email in the comments. If you don't want to drop your email in the comments, I certainly understand a public YouTube video. You can email me your email. Just put raffle in the title. That will get you 1 entry into the raffle. Okay? Just put raffle in the title, and that will get you an entry into the raffle. These are the hats that we're going to give away. Okay? The 2 Texans draft hats. Okay? And I saw the sideline hats for this year on Fanatics. Ooh. The sideline hats. We might have to do a sideline hat giveaway. So these are the 2 hats we're giving away in a raffle. So it's real simple. If you want in on the raffle, you send me an email, codystoots@gmail.com. Just put raffle in the title, and I will enter you into the raffle. If you are subscribed to Houston Football, www.houfootball.com, that is a bonus entry into the raffle. Okay? It's a bonus entry into the raffle if you're subscribed to www.houfootball.com. I can check your email that you send me at codystoots@gmail.com against my master list here on Houston football. And if you're subscribed, I'll give you a bonus entry into the raffle. Okay, we're going to close the raffle later this week. All right, probably on Thursday. All right, so you got a couple days. But codystoots@gmail.com, just put raffle in the title. That's how we enter you into the raffle. And if you're subscribed to Houston football, www.houfootball.com, we'll get you a bonus entry. Okay? Pretty simple. Everybody got that? Raffle update. This is the first of many. Okay, we're going to give away a ton of fun stuff on this channel. We're going to give away hats, give away gift cards. We're going to give away stickers. Those aren't as fun as hats and gift cards, but, still like that. So, lots of fun stuff coming the way. But that's the raffle update for this current ongoing raffle. We'll close it on Thursday. Okay? That work for everybody? All right, defense dominating at Texans training camp. Just a really, really good stretch here for this Texans defense. And D'Amico Ryan said the other day, it doesn't bother him that the defense is ahead. Defense is usually ahead. It feels like most training camps he's been a part of, defense is ahead. This defense is balling. Jalen Petrie has been a revelation. And he was really good last year at different times and then had some elements of his game where you're like, okay, that could get a little bit better. But Petrie's all over the place. Derek Stingley joked today at the podium. He's like, I call him Superman because he's flying all over the field. And he's right. It feels like Petrie's in on everything. I've seen him blitz in practice. I've seen him run stuff. I've seen him defend. I've seen quarterbacks decide not to throw the ball because Jalen Petrie was there. And today in a live rep, he would have just absolutely gobsmacked Tank Dell if it was live practice because the ball got over the middle to Dell. Dell catches it, but Petrie was right there. He did that thing we showed you with Will Anderson a minute ago where he kind of chopped his feet and held up. And it's like, hey, if this was live football, I'd have tackled you. That ball probably flies out, and it's probably going back the other way. Petrie has been really, really good. Jimmy Ward's a nice player. He's had a lot of impact so far. You saw Derek Stingley on the interception of C.J. Stroud. He's had some nice practices. He's stacking days. Steven Nelson's been good. Shaquille Griffin made a play today. We're just talking about the secondary. We haven't even got to this linebacker core. These linebackers, man. Blake Cashman's had an amazing couple of days. He's had 2 pass breakups. One of them should have been an interception. And he's had 2 interceptions the past 2 days. And that's a guy that wasn't even supposed to be in the rotation. And because guys are getting days off or guys are a little banged up, he's out there. He's playing his tail off. And he looks like a guy that all of a sudden, hey, maybe he's the last guy. Oh, no, he plays special teams. Put him on the roster to do we need to think about putting Cashman here in the rotation? And then Henry To'o, the rookie linebacker out of Alabama. I mean, To'o, part of his game is he's smarter than most rookies are going to be. Just the great mental capacity and the way that he has to pick things up. But let me tell you, he's fast. He was flying all over the place. He's been in coverage. He was at the point of attack on some of these rush plays because they had a padded practice finally. Christian Harris is flying around. He talked at the podium today. He said he went and spent time with Derek Stingley in Hawaii on a big kind of workout trip, like a work and play trip that Stingley helped organize. He said he went out there. There's a lot of DBs, and primarily Harris went out there because he wanted to improve his coverage skills. Well, I mean, he looks good in coverage. And today, I thought for sure they kind of swung the ball out. I don't remember if it was a handoff and Pierce had cut it outside or if they swung the ball outside. But I was like, oh, here comes a really good rushing play. And the next thing you know, Christian Harris met him for a tackle for no gain. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. And, Perryman, how he fits in, Littleton, how he fits in, some of these Kirksey, how he fits in. Linebackers turned into a position where, I can see who's going to make it to. Well, there might be a tough cut here or there, and maybe the starters aren't exactly who I thought the starters were. So that's something to pay attention to as training camp goes on. On that defensive line, Malik Collins, he's been penetrating, getting in there. Roy Lopez has had some nice snaps. Kurt Hinish has had some nice snaps. The Will Anderson factor is, of course, really good. And then Grenard and Hughes are working their way in. And Jacob Martin's had a couple of nice plays. So you're starting to kind of see the basis of a couple of guys showing up, standing out. And when those guys have like an average day, somebody else has a good day. So the defense has had some really nice performances put together in camp. And then you start to think about this offense here, and it's like, okay, well, the defense played really well. Can the offense bounce back? It's not just CJ Stroud that has a rough practice, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I got to do better tomorrow. Like everybody who's on offense is like, man, they kind of kicked our tails today. Let's go out there and let's figure out what to do and to bounce back. So I wrote this at Houston Football, www.houfootball.com, the 11 observations. Kind of a weird day for the wide receivers because the offense just couldn't really get anything going consistently. But, Nico had a nice play. Obviously, Xavier Hutchinson had a nice play. Tank Dell over the middle, even though I think Petrie would have mauled him as soon as he got the ball. So there's a couple of nice plays here or there from the wide receivers, but ultimately kind of a quiet day for the pass catchers because of the kind of the inconsistency of the offense and the defense playing really well. One more thing that I want to mention, then we'll get to some of your comments and some of your questions as well. This tight end room is it's in rough shape. Okay. This tight end room is in rough shape. And I'm not sure when it gets out of rough shape. Dalton Schultz got banged up on Sunday. He didn't practice on Monday. Brevin Jordan made a play on Sunday and then was limping. He didn't practice on Monday. So that leaves you with Tomlinson, Andrew Beck, and Mason Schreck. And I think they have less than 50 combined receptions in the NFL in their entire NFL careers. So, it's a really rough spot here. Tegan Quintiriano's on the PUP list. So I wonder if there's a veteran to maybe fill for a couple of days. Schultz has been really good when he's in there. He just got banged up. He's down. D'Amico didn't make it sound like it was going to be anything too long-term for Schultz. But, if you can get Schultz back in there, Quintiriano back in there, Brevin Jordan, part of this offense is going to rely on the tight ends. And so when you've got the pass catching tight ends, and you've got the better, thought to be better tight ends out there, and you got a little bit more for this offense, a little bit more creativity that you can put together. And then when you've got sort of the primarily blocking guys or the guys that aren't as talented, it's maybe there's a little bit of a restriction to what they can do offensively. So a lot to pay attention to for the tight ends in the coming days and to see if there's a veteran, maybe a trade. Casario's, been known to swing a deal here every now and then. So something to pay attention to there. All right. Question time. We'll go through your comments, get to your questions. If I missed one or I didn't get to one, we will roll through it here over on the comments section. As always, the super chat is going to get you to the front of the line. And if you indeed want to have your question asked from a video standpoint, I've put the link to show up on a video standpoint here in the comment section. What will happen is you'll go into what's called backstage. We'll bring you on, ask your question, and we'll go on with the show from there. All right, let's get into some of these comments here. Sean G, did you catch Cal and Hannah at Raw tonight? I did. I was watching a little bit of WWE Raw tonight. Saw Cal and Hannah sitting behind the broadcast team. Actually had Alpha Academy out at Texans training camp today. So Otis, Gable, and the gal that they have with them, whose name escapes me. But they were out there taking it in and got them some Texans gear, got them some Texans jerseys and some Texans bucket hats that were pretty snazzy. Pretty snazzy if I do say so myself. So, yeah, I saw Cal Hannah on Raw tonight. 0-0 Tucks given. I'm excited for Valade, Cashman, and Hudge. Cashman's always played well, just health concerns. He can stay healthy. It's literally Dylan Cole 2.0. Blake Cashman is a funny I have a funny relationship with Blake Cashman because I fell in love with him in the draft process a couple years ago. And my buddy Jake Asman is a Jets fan. The Jets drafted him, and I was like, oh, man, he's good. He's good. You're going to like him. And then he stunk in New York, and Jake's never let me live it down. You got to Houston. He's been a nice special teams player, but there might be a little bit more juice to Cashman. Valladay had a touchdown today from Case Keenum in sort of that, kind of that third team situation. So Valladay had a touchdown. He catches the ball out of the backfield pretty well. So a lot of hard work to figure out who that third running back is. Mike Boone had a fantastic run today. That was a house call. He kind of took it right side. And John Harris wrote in his observations, which Johnny's great. Johnny's at a different vantage point than where we watch practice. Johnny said Juice Scruggs helped break Mike Boone free. So that was exciting to read from Johnny. I didn't see it where I was, but, Boone took it to the house. It's a tough spot for that third running back. So it'd be interesting to see who ultimately earns those honors. I did not get to make it out to WWE Raw, but I watched a little bit. Man, tickets were a little pricey. I thought about, just sneaking out there though, but maybe next time. I like the pay-per-views a little bit more than Raw. If I'm going to spend 3+ hours there, hopefully it's a pay-per-view. How do you feel about that trade for Will now, JK? Look, Kimmy, if he's defensive rookie of the year and he's awesome, who gives a crap what the trade, what the compensation was in the trade? Because if he's defensive rookie of the year and he's awesome, then they're not going to be picking 2, 3, 4. Okay. They're going to be picking a lot lower than that. I got Julian rolls through. Just got home from Monday Night Raw. Screw Trish Stratus made a Houston Astros cheating joke. Callahan ringside WWE tonight. Awesome to see them. Yeah, Callahan stepping out. And as I mentioned, Alpha Academy was out there at practice. So, making the rounds on town. Justin Terrell. Thank you for subscribing, man. You can subscribe to the YouTube page. I appreciate that. And HOUfootball.com, www.HOUfootball.com. J-Rock. With Malik Collins back, Renard looking better. Perryman, Will Anderson, Dylan Horton, Jerry Hughes. The front of our defense looks a lot better. Hey, man, definitely deeper and definitely more talented, it feels like, than the previous few years. The talent infusion that Will Anderson brings is apparent, but Malik Collins, a defensive tackle, Sheldon Rankins is a really nice player at defensive tackle, and then that mix of defensive ends, you can start to see how this ends up being a pretty intriguing defense compared to the past couple of seasons. Do you think Houston's defense special teams will be a good sleeper pick in fantasy football? No. I can't recommend that until I know that they're going to be able to stop the run. I mean, just they've basically committed an atrocity against humanity trying to stop the run the past 2 years. I can't commit to them from a fantasy perspective. Am I the only one who thinks the Texans can surprise the NFL and win the AFC South? You're not the only one, but with all the crap going on in Indianapolis, and I don't believe in the Titans. I do believe in the Jaguars a little bit, though. Doug Peterson's a fantastic coach. Trevor Lawrence is a real nice player. Calvin Ridley looks like a freak in training camp. It looks like they might have stole Calvin Ridley from the rest of the league. So, Jacksonville's got a little juice to them. That offensive line's a little shaky, though, in Jacksonville. So, Mike, may the best QB start. Don't forget, Steve Young couldn't start because of Joe Montana. Trey Lance because of Jimmy G. Brett Favre in Tampa Bay. Favre was in Atlanta initially. No, may CJ Stroud start. That's what I want. May CJ Stroud start. Hey, Appreciate that, Saeed. I hope I'm saying your name right. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you can hit the like button, that helps other Texans fans see this. We get the big the group in here and create a little community that they got going on here. Justin asks, what's up with Tegan? Tegan Quateriano started on the PUP list, so that means he was dealing with an injury initially, and he's working out. He's ramping up. It feels like he's really close to being back because he does a lot of the workouts on the side. It looks like it's full speed. And then he's around the team, though he's not dressed out. Like he's around the team for stuff. So, they practice on Tuesday, off day Wednesday. I don't know if it's totally out of the question to expect him back for Thursday, Friday. So, Quateriano, I'm excited to see him. He made some nice plays in mini camp. Nothing to just really write home about, but there's something there. He looked ready to go when he was finally healthy last year. So Quateriano's something that I'm paying attention to when he finally gets back on the field. I'm fine with Max Williams or Kyle Rudolph as free agents, to be honest. Don't spend draft capital unless it's a super talented young guy. I thought that I thought Kyle Rudolph retired. Or that's right. Oh, yeah. Rudolph's going to be on the Big Ten games for NBC. I did think about Max Williams, though. I was looking through free agent tight ends the other day. Max Williams, it was a lot of hype coming into the league as a draft prospect a couple years ago, but it just didn't really pan out. But he was in Arizona, so maybe that was some of it. And then, gosh, I always forget his name. And I look at his name probably twice a week, and I say his name probably 3 times a week. Tampa Bay tight end Cameron Brate. Yeah, Brate's a veteran I'd think about too. But again, if Quateriano gets in there and is healthy, and Schultz is back and healthy, then it's really only a competition for the third spot. Beck's a factor. But it might be short term with some of this stuff if you do bring a veteran in. So maybe somebody's not signing up for that. Biggest body transformation at camp. Well, Stingley looks a lot bigger and better than last year, but that was a mini camp offseason storyline. Quateriano's lost quite a bit of rookie fat, baby fat. You hear that a lot. Roy Lopez. So Roy Lopez, I've had this Roy Lopez theory for a little while here. Roy Lopez was, he looked soft. Okay. Like in his midsection, his first year, and he played really well. And then his second year, it looked like he lost a little bit of weight, and he replicated his stats roughly, but like overall, there was an expectation of things getting better. And Lopez has been putting up a bunch of videos in the offseason, and Malik Collins talked about this at the podium the other day. He was joking that Roy Lopez, is putting thirst traps out there on Instagram. But Lopez looks real stout from the waist up, and he was running away from me on one of the fields today, and I was looking at him, and I was like, he looks a lot more stout waist down than he did last year, in addition to like stronger waist up. So Roy Lopez is a guy that's, transformed the body a little bit as well. So that's something that that's something that I think has been one of the body transformation guys. So let's gotta pay a little bit more attention to. I was hoping Kenyon Green was going to be the answer to that, but he's not one of the body transformation guys. Doesn't mean he has looked bad, though. I mean, he was out there, pushing some folks around in padded practice. Do you think Agumbawale makes the team? Dare Agumbawale. Between Boone and Valladay and Agumbawale, that's the third running back. Might come down to special teams. Who can do something on special teams? I know Agumbawale can. If I had to say today, no. I'll take Boone or Valladay. But at that point, I'm just playing the odds. Yes, she was there with Otis and Gable. I would have been interested to know, you line up all the Texans players and those two professional wrestlers, who exactly were the strongest? Because I've watched some workout videos with Otis and Gable. Those dudes squatting like 600 pounds. It's silly. Silly. JJ, appreciate you catching it for live for a minute and then catching it up when you get up and you get to work. So appreciate you. DGMT 6. Good luck in this new endeavor. Thank you. Thank you. We're having some fun here on the YouTube, man. The YouTube's been great. Houston football, www.houfootball.com. That's been fantastic. There will always be something free on Houston football. Okay? It's going to be some subscription stuff down the road. There will always be something free. And of course, the YouTube is fantastic as well. Brown Chubby Bear, good to see you. What can we expect? Green, CJ, Anderson, and Scruggs to stop rotating with the twos. Green's not with the twos. Kenyon Green goes in, and they're still managing his load there. CJ stops when he wins the quarterback competition. Anderson, they're going to have a hard time keeping him off the field. And same with Scruggs, too. Scruggs played a little bit of guard on Monday. So the versatility showing up. And so that's something to think about as well. Richard, we did beat the Jags with Tress. Yes, the Texans seem to have this mental edge over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so, you don't want to get too worried about the Jaguars, but you also don't want to underestimate them. Again, I really like Doug Peterson. And as a coach, I like him less because he's the Jags coach, but I like Doug Peterson as a coach. So I believe they're going to be pretty solid from the floor up there in Jacksonville. Richard, baseball question. Well, it's Houston football, not Houston baseball, but I'll take the question anyway. Do you see Craig taking over? Trade talks bringing back JV. Man, this JV buzz. Look, the Texans didn't get DeAndre Hopkins back, but Justin Verlander coming back, it'd be a nice consolation prize. And, it's something to pay attention to throughout the course of football season, because they don't play a lot of Sunday games in the World Series. And if they do, they don't play them when the Texans are playing. So it'll all line up. There won't be too much crossover if the Astros can make that run, and Verlander would certainly help them. Mike, what's the chance of them signing Zeke? 0. Knowing they need help and a goal line back to help Damian. They don't. They got Singletary. I want Damian to punch it in, but he's a 3-down back. Singletary's a spell back. They're fine. They're not signing Zeke. Pierce has got Singletary now to have him ready for those goal line opportunities. So not worried about that. Not worried about that. Chief Super Trucker. Much love, Cody. Much love to you, Chief Super Trucker. DGMT. Who would be the starting center? I mean, if they played tomorrow, I suppose Scott Quessenberry would be the starting center. I believe Juice Scruggs is going to be the center when it's all said and done. So, yeah, Juice Scruggs, when the season gets here, if they played tomorrow, Scott Quessenberry. So that's where I'd go from the starting center standpoint. What do y'all make of this Jonathan Taylor Colts situation? He requests the trade officially after Jim Irsay has a conversation with him. It seems like Irsay has said all the wrong things. And we all know how ultimately this shakes out from an Indianapolis perspective. Taylor says, hey, I want to trade this and that. Well, if Indianapolis ponies up the cash, then Jonathan Taylor's happy and there's no issues there. But it kind of feels like with the way Irsay approached this thing and some of the issues that Taylor maybe wanted addressed that seemingly didn't get addressed. If they trade Jonathan Taylor, the team that gets Jonathan Taylor is about to get one hell of a football player, one pissed off football player. And B, that might sink the Colts. Like I like what the Colts are starting to put together, but they need a little bit of a year or two to gel, and Richardson's got to hit, some of that potential that he has, and they can be real scary. I like Alec Pierce. I like Josh Downs. I like Michael Pittman. They got a cat at tight end that I like pretty good, and Jelani Woods. And then I love Jonathan Taylor. Heck, I've been drafting Jonathan Taylor in best balls with Underdog Fantasy. I've been drafting Jonathan Taylor for 2 months in best balls. And now he's like, I'm not going to play. I'm like, oh, crap. What's going on here, Jonathan Taylor? If they trade Jonathan Taylor, they might be the worst team in the AFC South. So that defense was a little iffy last year. The offensive line took a step back, and they got a rookie quarterback. They trade Jonathan Taylor. You might be the worst team in the AFC South. I love watching the Colts struggle too. I like some of their players, and I don't dislike Colts fans, even though they're spoiled brats. Now I guess they got a little bit of their medicine because Luck wasn't as good as he was supposed to be. But I love watching the Colts struggle. Yeah. LOL if JT gets traded. Yeah. LOL indeed. LOL indeed. Taylor hurt me in fantasy last year, but I wouldn't mind seeing him out of our division. Yeah, for sure. Get him out of the AFC South. Get him out of the damn AFC. That's a guy that's going to be good for the next few years. Like Jonathan Taylor's he's not two seasons away from not being good anymore. Like Taylor's the type of guy that's going to be good for a while. I believe in him. And the guy was one of the 5 best players in the NFL 2 years ago. It felt like, and now they're kind of screwing around with him. After seeing what happened to Moss today and JT requesting a trade on Saturday, makes me feel so good we aren't the most dysfunctional team in the league anymore. Yeah, the dysfunction scale. It's there's teams racing the Texans to the bottom. Okay. Racing the Texans to the bottom. Brown Chubby, Irsay is nuts, but how can JT ask for $16 million APY when Barkley and Jacobs couldn't get paid after the season they had? Because they're not Jonathan Taylor. He's better than both those guys. I know he was hurt last year, but Jonathan Taylor's better than both of those guys. That's why he can ask for it. And look, just because he asked for 16 doesn't mean there's not a number he wouldn't settle for. Running backs just can't get paid. Nathan says the league's got to do something about the running backs. The league doesn't give a crap. The NFLPA doesn't give a crap. You know why? Because there's a whole new crop of running backs coming every single year, man. Every single year. I like Taylor, but it doesn't want him anymore. Sit him or trade him. Either way, it's a win-win for me. Yeah, you're right. Texans benefit from that in a great way. Think about this. You got Jonathan Taylor may be on his way out. Any year now, Derrick Henry is finally going to be done. Maybe he's never going to be done. Maybe he's just an absolute unicorn every year. But Derrick Henry's closer to being gone than sticking around. And then Travis Etienne's been okay. Let me take that back. He's been good. He had the year that he lost to injury. He had a really good quote about all this. Travis Etienne basically said, they paid McCaffrey. So if you could do what he does, you can get paid. And that's kind of scary to hear because if he's trying to be McCaffrey, they're going to throw him the rock and they're going to run him a bunch. Etienne's a nice player. So that scared me a little bit. Blue Boy Fivine. Let's say the offense struggles real bad. Do you see Caserio making a trade before the deadline? I think he will. And 2 teams I watched Cincinnati and Seattle. Bengals can't afford everybody. Oh, you mean like snagging somebody awesome in the middle of the year? Nah, I'm not worried about that. Also, we haven't even got through a week plus of training camp yet. Can we a week of training camp? Can we slow down on what happens in the trade deadline in the season? Appreciate you watching though. That's funny. It's funny. I was watching a comedy show the other night. I watched this show called Kill Tony. It's about stand-up comedy out of Houston or out of Austin. And the comedians and the hosts were making fun of a crowd member, and they just said something like, they said something kind of mean and like, like sit down and shut up or something like that. And then one of the other comedians was like, what he means to say is thanks for coming. And that's what I feel like. If I don't like your opinion and I kind of, poo-poo your opinion, I want you to know that it's also added with thanks for watching. Okay. Thanks for watching. Just plain Dave. JT leaves, take Derrick Henry with you. Yeah, please. Colts fan watching. Jonathan Taylor Lee plus Texans getting Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. I can only dream. They will. I pray that they will be nowhere near being able to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. unless the Cleveland Browns are really bad, and then that would be incredible. But I mean, let's just play it out here, okay? Let's say the Browns are the third worst team in football, and the first two teams need quarterbacks, and the Texans get Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair up with CJ Stroud. I mean, are we freaking out? Are we having a parade? I think that's a pizza party. I used to joke on the radio show, if they drafted Bryce Young, it's a pizza party. If the Browns are really bad and Marvin Harrison Jr. is the Texans pick with the Browns selection next year, pizza party, and you're all invited. Hold me to it. Save the clip. Hold me to it. Hold me to it. Any odds on Tunsil continuing 2 to 3 false starts a game? So, Laramie would tell you this is not his fault, and he would not tell you that it's the center's fault, but I'll tell you a lot of Laramie's false starts are the center's fault. And the NFL has started to figure out that these tackles can start a little early. You saw this, I think Lane Johnson's one of the best in the league at this. He does that early start, and the officials are like, it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. I would say very few of Laramie's false starts last year were his fault. Very few. Over under on Tunsil. I'll go over because it's either going to be Questenberry or a rookie center. So I'll go over because it's not, again, I don't think it's Laramie's fault. Sometimes I ask loaded questions. My feelings aren't hurt if I don't like the answer. Yeah, okay. That's fine. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings except for maybe, Colts fans, Browns fans, Tank and Metch are definitely going to surprise people. I doubt we trade for receiver at the deadline, let Woods walk next year and sign Mike Evans. Well, hold on now. Woods is under contract for next year, and if he plays well, why not bring him back? Mechie and Tank Dell are going to be fun watches, and as the quarterbacks get more steady, I'm excited to see them get more opportunities as well. If the Browns are that bad, that means DW4 sucked. Thanks for the picks. Pizza party. Yeah. If we land Harrison Jr. next year, Stoots has to make pizza party shirts. All right. So here is the official. This is good, Nathan, because I love a good merch opportunity. All right. Here's the official offering. If the Browns pick is so bad that the Texans can select Marvin Harrison Jr. We'll throw a pizza party, and we'll have shirts made ahead of time talking about the Marvin Harrison Jr. pizza party, and everybody can wear their shirt to the pizza party, and we'll give away probably a gift card so you can buy a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey. We'll raffle off a gift card to some lucky attendee of the pizza party. There's the official. So we'll do the pizza party, we'll do shirts for everybody, and then we'll raffle off a gift card worth enough for somebody to get a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey if the Texans get Marvin Harrison Jr. with the Browns pick next year. That seems pretty fair. It's a good use of resources, and it's a good rooting interest for all of us. Good rooting interest for all of us. Look how many quarterbacks they changed. They had Baker, and then they overpaid Deshaun, so they'll finally have somebody at quarterback. Just like how the Browns, fail with quarterbacks, how nobody can succeed there. That's one of those. That's a barbecue cut. We'll have barbecue pizza. Okay, well, barbecue pizza, have pizza, all sorts of pizza. I live in Denver, but I'll come through. All right, perfect. Yeah, we'll give you an advance notice so that you can come to the pizza party. Okay. Cleveland Browns Sports Radio was salty over ESPN's Dan Patrick calling the Browns franchise trash and a dumpster fire. They're going to fire Stefanski in the middle of the year. That's my prediction for the Browns. They're going to fire their head coach in the middle of the year. Jim Schwartz is on their staff. They're going to turn that thing over to Schwartz, and they're going to get a new coach, a new young offensive-minded coach in the offseason. They're going to fire Stefanski if that thing's going sideways in the middle of the year. Blue Boy, I know the trade deadline is in the distant future, but I can see CJ struggling due to lack of talent. Because definitely hinder his development. Okay. Blue, stop it. You're banned from talking trade deadline until September. Late September. Sean G, if a pizza party becomes reality, do we get input on the source of said pizza? You want to pick the place? We'll get a Cody Stoots YouTube and HOU football approved pizza place. Okay, we'll do that way. I need the Titans to suffer more than the Colts. I believe the Titans are the worst team in the AFC South. Their offensive line stinks. Their defense is not complete. And their quarterback situation is an atrocity. And if Derrick Henry gets hurt, they are sunk. I believe the Titans are the worst team in the AFC South. They're going to play the worst in the AFC South. Hell, they're the worst team in the AFC South. I'm not going to couch it. Maybe our defense is just way better than we were giving it credit for. So defense is always ahead of offense is a common cliche that gets thrown out there, and it feels like it's a cliche because it's more often than not true, especially in pads. I was talking with Seth Payne, former Texans defensive tackle, about this. He said a lot of times defenders take advantage of guys on the offense when there aren't pads on because you're not really supposed to bull rush, but they bull rush guys. You're not really supposed to do certain physical things, but defensive guys just take advantage of it a couple of times. And I believe the offense will catch up here. A lot to get through on the offense. Bobby Slowick's supposed to talk on Tuesday, so it'd be fun to talk with him about this offense. And Dalton Schultz called it voluminous. Damian Pierce joked it was like the Bible. So be fun to talk about going through that, teaching it, the importance of it, and that's something to pay attention to as the offense gets deeper in the playbook, gets more comfortable, less thinking, more reacting. They're going to find themselves with a better performance in training camp. What could the Texans offer to get Taylor? Nothing. I don't know. You wouldn't. If you get him, sure, but it's going to be expensive. No, I don't. No. They're not. The Colts don't seem to want to trade him either. Sean G. Browns make Harrison Jr. a Texan. Taylor gets traded out of the division. The Titans get blown out by the Texans wearing the Oilers jersey. Would make my 2023-2024. Yes. If through the preseason the Texans still have issues at the wide receiver position, would you give Landry a shot if he's still available and also at the right price? Jarvis Landry? No, he's a slot guy. If they're having issues, it's because they haven't found an outside guy. They have too many slot options to They have too many slot options to start bringing in veteran slot options. Blue asked, see, this is why the Hopkins thing made sense, because he played outside, and they don't have as many outside guys, and it would have made everybody else's job easier. So, Jarvis Landry, a veteran, sure, but he's a slot guy. You're good at slot. I'm pretty sure Stoots knows good pizza. Just saying. On the radio show, we used to joke, is that a fat joke? And then, of course, we learned that sometimes it's not a fat joke, it's a fat fact. This is a fat fact. I do know good pizza. You're forgetting the Titans were 7-2 with Ryan Tannehill as their starter. The Colts will be the worst and will be spot number 3 realistically. Yes, the Titans had a solid stretch to their road teams that finished with a winning record in 2022, and they also fell apart, and then they lost a bunch of those players from that team. And so I do not believe in the Tennessee Titans. And if Jonathan Taylor's on the Colts, I believe in them a little bit more, but if he's not on there, I don't believe in the Colts. All right, getting close to a little over an hour here, but we'll get ready to wrap this thing up. But of course, the lives will be coming all throughout training camp and the season, so you can get in on that. Do you miss Asman and BK? Yeah, I do. I do miss those guys. They're 2 very good friends of mine, and when you get to work with your friends, it's a cool deal. And they're rolling, doing their thing on the Wheelhouse, and I'm doing my thing here with the YouTube and www.houfootball.com. And yeah, I miss those guys. In fact, I was hitting BK up about the new Taco Bell item. I watched the little test kitchen chef lady do the new Taco Bell. It looks like they're trying to do like a quesadilla. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Hold on. I got to look up this new Taco Bell item. It's called the grilled cheese dipping taco, which will hit the menus on August 3rd. Oh, this is a great question for you guys. Okay. Would y'all watch food reviews on the YouTube channel? Like, I know this is Texans and we're talking Texans, but like every now and then if I threw in a little food review, maybe with a guest, and we talk a little Texans, would you guys watch some food reviews? Because this new Taco Bell thing would be a great starter. The grilled cheese dipping taco, which is basically to say it's like a crappy birria taco. So let me know in the comments, live or in the comments down below, if you're watching this after the fact, if you'd watch some food review videos. Me, maybe a guest, talk a little Texans, throw it on the YouTube channel, see what happens. All right, let's find out what's with this grilled cheese dipping taco. All right, see what USA Today has to say about it. Limited edition slow braised shredded beef topped with a creamy jalapeno sauce and a 3-cheese blend packed in a fried taco shell with the same cheese blend grilled on the outside of the corn shell. The taco comes with 2 dipping sauces, the zesty red sauce and a nacho cheese. I'd give it a try. I'd give it a try. See if we can get a picture of this thing here. Oh, Taco Bell's got the lady. Let's do a little picture of the lady with the nails. Look at this. It looks pretty good. Zesty red sauce, a little cheese on the outside. Yeah, I tell you this much. That thing's going to be greasy. That thing is going to be greasy. So, yeah, we'll try that one. That'll maybe be one. All right, couple more. Cody's Pizza we trust. Yeah, trust me, I'll find us a pizza party if we get to the pizza party situation. Is this the most hope Texans have had in their history? No, because I felt damn good about 2019. I felt really good about 2019. Wait, what happened? Did you leave the show? Where are you doing now? Yes, I'm not on the Wheelhouse on ESPN 97.5 anymore. I own and operate Houston Football. So www.houfootball.com. You can subscribe there. And then I do stuff here on YouTube as well. So Dustin, which is a unique way to spell Dustin. I like that. Dustan. You the next review, brah. Why not? Food reviews get a thumbs up. I would watch it. How do you ask for your hair? I like it. I've been going to the same hair lady for 20 years. She cut my hair when I was a little league baseball player. Now she still cuts my hair. I think I get a 2 on the side blended, and then she uses the scissors to just kind of thin it out. I'd put my hair up against almost any hair in Houston Texans media. Okay? I think Brooks Cabina at the Chronicles got real nice hair, but I'd put my head of hair, my dome of hair up against any Texans media member. I feel like I got some of the best hair. Build it and they will come. Food reviews for sure. I know it's late, but I like CJ responses from yesterday better than Mills. Oh, when he went to the podium? I like CJ's mentality is great. He's very much, I need to learn. I don't want to be given anything. I like CJ Stroud's personality. I like his approach. He says a lot of the right things. I'm a big fan of CJ Stroud and what he says. And let's see him execute what he says, because guys can tell you the right things all they want. What they do is what matters. If he executes some of the things that he says he's going to do, the Texans are going to be in a great spot. They're going to be in a great spot. One food review for every Tunsil false start. This is not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Will Anderson also said that he is going to he's not going to take it easy on Bryce Young. He told that to Landry Locker and John Lopez on Sports Radio 610 today, and it tickled me to no end. This is officially a Will Anderson Stan YouTube account. I might as well change the profile picture to Will Anderson. Nothing will ever beat the Cheesy Gordita Crunch. I agree with you. El Mario, if we beat the Ravens 6-0 to start off the second half. Okay. If they beat the Ravens, we're having a whole different conversation about both the Ravens and the Houston Texans. Linebackers have looked good. Do you mind me asking about your financial situation? Don't worry about me. I'll figure out how to make the money cover the team. Your support is obviously fantastic. Watching the videos on YouTube, houfootball.com will have a subscription element. Don't worry about me. I'm going to cover this team and take care of everybody, and we'll figure out a way to pay for it. Roy Lopez might beg to differ. He's not in Houston media. He's a football player. Okay? Why did BK catch a stray here on the hair thing? That's not mean. That's too mean. All right. Hey, you guys stop fighting in the comments. We're going to call it for the night. Okay. Would appreciate a like. Would appreciate a subscription on the YouTube video. www.houfootball.com for all the writing. Comes right to your inbox when I finish up the observations for the day. Right there in your email. You get it before social media gets it. We got some fun stuff going on with the site. So really encourage you to get over to Houston Football, www.houfootball.com. A lot of fun stuff prepared for over there. The YouTube channel, we're having a blast out here. We have these late night lives. We'll do some lives in the middle of the day. We do the recorded videos as well. So lots of fun stuff coming for the YouTube page. Of course, We also will get a pizza party next year if the Browns are really bad, so you need to be around for that. If you're watching here at the end, I gave you the information on the raffle earlier in the video, so check that out. The description has all the info that you need for everything. Share this with somebody, and I appreciate everybody for watching and consuming the content. It's the most fun I've ever had covering the Texans, and I am having a blast covering this team every day, a little over a week into this thing, and it's awesome. You guys have been awesome. You guys have been great. You've clicked on the stories. You've subscribed to the site. You've subscribed to the YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I will always remain grateful and show my appreciation as best as I can to this. And then Just Plain Dave. Thank you so much for the super chat, Just Plain Dave. This will help with the pizza party. Buddy, if there's a pizza party because Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming to town, we'll get that son of a gun sponsored. Okay? We'll get that sponsored. Just Plain Dave, thank you so much. And I appreciate everybody watching the video tonight. www.houfootball.com. And how do we finish all the videos? Does anybody know? Any of the regular video? Oh, Luis, you're kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How do we finish the videos? Does anybody remember in the comments? Jeffrey knows. He's here when we finish. The lives and the recordeds, they finish different. Jeffrey knows. Sean knows. It's my charge to you. It's my hope for you as well. Eat good, sleep good, be good. We'll talk Texans again soon.